The mission of the vaults should be important to everyone. To come up to the surface one day and restart civilization. Can you tell me what's happened in the last 200 years?
Holy shit. You're an actual vault dweller.
I am.
Hi, I'm Alex from Enemy, and today we're joined by the star of Fallout, Yellowjackets, and many more. It's Ella Purnell. How are we doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah, really great. Are you prepared for when people inevitably shout at you in the street, okie dokie?
I actually can't wait. You know, there's worse things to get shouted at you on the street, isn't there? Okie dokie's like, it's quite wholesome, like brighten up your day a little bit. I don't know, I've actually sort of adopted it into my own language now. I started about halfway through filming, you know, like, Ella, we're ready for you on set.
Okie
dokie. I don't know, sort of turning into her slowly.
Do you get much of that sort of people accosting you in the street kind of thing?
I wouldn't say accosting, I don't know, maybe.
Saying hello.
Just saying hi, you know. I haven't had any horrible experiences so far.
Do you ever get mistaken for other actors?
You know what does happen quite a lot, which I've actually done this myself and I know how it feels. I think people, they see you on screen and you become sort of like a part of their inner world. You know, maybe they sort of absorb you into their subconscious. They think they know you. So I've had a lot of people who think, oh, did we go to school together? I know you from somewhere, we must have grown up together, where'd you grow up? You know, or sometimes the best ones is someone who sort of waves at you like they know you and then they start to approach you and then they realize and they're like, you know, and I've done that to someone. I was like, I know you, we met at this party. And then I realized he was actually from a TV show I just watched. I was so embarrassed.
There's a scene in episode 1 where you literally have to staple your stomach, like from a wound.
Yeah.
Can you talk me through the process of shooting that?
So fun. Yeah. I love stuff like that. I love, I don't know, like acting in pain or desperate or, I don't know what's wrong with me. I love stuff like that. And I remember that, there's so much stuff in Fallout that is just so mental, and you spend a lot of time, I spend a lot of time as an actor trying to make my performance grounded and naturalistic. At least in this show, you know, really thinking, well, what would I do if I saw the world for the first time? And then something happens, like you get stabbed in the stomach and you think, okay, well, I would obviously die. But now we have to kind of, you know, not be so naturalistic and kind of go into this hyper-realistic world. And that was one of those where stim packs really come in handy, I'll put it that way.
But what do they have you like doing on set? Is there like a dummy, something, or is it
was
like...
a prosthetic that they put on me, and then there was also a dummy, there was two. So I had the prosthetic that was the sort of the open wound, and then there was a dummy in front, and I sort of put my head on top of the dummy's body, wrapped, you know, gave her a big bear hug from behind, and then stapled its stomach with the staple gun.
And there's another really creepy scene actually where you're like stamping on this sort of monster bug thing to death over and over and over again.
Oh, the
right?
radroach.
What is that you're stamping on?
That's a mutated cockroach that has adapted to the wasteland by actually improving.
And in real life, what is it?
In real life, it's a plastic giant toy. It's a cockroach that is pretty hard and gross, and they have many different forms of it. They have one actually that's like chopped in half, and there's all this sort of neon green goo coming out of it. It's oozing out of it. It's really gross. As someone that doesn't love cockroaches.
Who does love cockroaches?
There's got to be someone out there who like keeps them as pets or something. I don't know.
Your dad in the show is played by the wonderful Kyle MacLachlan. What is he like to hang out with? I'm guessing really lovely.
So nice. I mean, if you met him, he's just so sweet. He's the most like kind and generous person as well as actor. I have so many stories about Kyle.
Share.
You know, one of my stories is I have a really good friend who is a huge Twin Peaks fan.
Yeah.
And so for, I got him for Secret Santa, and so I asked Kyle if he would do a video. I never do stuff like this, but honestly, I didn't buy a present, and I left it to the last minute. I panicked, that's what really happened. And Kyle made him the sweetest video. It's about 2 minutes, he puts on a suit,
just for the video?
Just for this video. Like, what a nice guy, you know, he makes all these Twin Peaks references, damn good cup of coffee. And then he, you know, he sends it over to me, and my friend cried his eyes out. He was a mess. And I just think that is the sweetest thing in the world. Just such a nice guy.
Look out at this wasteland, looks like chaos. But there's always somebody behind the wheel.
Okay, you're in a real life apocalypse situation. You're about to head into the vault, right there, to wait it out. You can take 3 former co-stars with you. Who are you taking and why?
Anyone I've worked with.
Yeah. You can have 1 from Fallout, I think.
The real life people, I suppose. Sophie Nalise from Yellowjackets.
Yeah.
Just an angel.
She'd be good for just sort of calming you down or like having fun, what?
She's just good for having fun with. I suppose I should bring people that are like handy in the apocalypse. When I'm going into the vault, aren't I?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is so hard. I hate questions like this because I feel so bad for not picking people and then I forget half the people I've worked with. Courtney, also from Yellowjackets.
Yeah.
You know who'd be really fun in a vault? Oh, but Kyle. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
I'd have to take Kyle. But also Annabelle, I don't know, this is so hard.
What are you going to do when you're down there?
I would be so bored. I go a bit mad if I don't go outside at least once a day. I would have a really hard time. You have to take some vitamin D as well, wouldn't you, to get really depressed?
What is happening here?
Everyone wants to save the world, they just agree on how.
Okay, Enemies in Music magazine. So one of the things we love to do is check up on the listening habits of our favourite actors. So we always ask, what is the album that you've got on repeat at the moment that you're obsessed with?
Oh my gosh, I have so many. The one that I just keep coming back to, I will never get bored of it. Norah Jones, what's the name of the album? I just put her on my Alexa when I'm cooking. It's like my evening wind down. I love that song. I love that album. I have so many. Also, Essa James, Sunday Kind of Love. That's another good one. Brandy Carlisle. I have so many.
Yeah. What kind
Amy
of
Winehouse. Oh,
Yeah.
stop
Are you
now.
excited about the film, Amy Winehouse?
I am. I'm very excited. When it comes out soon, right?
April the 12th, I think. Possibly.
Yeah, I will definitely be watching it.
What were you into when you were sort of growing up as a teenager? What albums? Who was on your wall?
You know, I
in the
loved
bedroom?
Lenny Kravitz, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I did. That's another album that I would listen to. Lenny Kravitz's greatest hits. I loved ABBA. I went through a Girls Aloud phase. That was actually my first concert I ever went to. You know, I was never really like a big super fan of like, I don't know, like Harry Styles or One Direction or Justin Bieber was the big one growing up, of course.
Oh, yeah.
I was a big Lenny Kravitz fan. I like Bryan Adams.
Summer 69? Who doesn't?
That's one of my favourite songs. That's actually me and my mum's song, and that's my go-to karaoke song. It's the only one I know all the words to.
Have you ever met any sort of your all-time favourite musicians and sort of fanned out a bit?
No, actually, I haven't. I don't meet a lot of musicians. I'd like to.
Well, I think you sing a bit, don't you? I've seen a few covers on YouTube.
I do sometimes. I like a bit of karaoke. I do sing. I'd like to do some music stuff in the future. It's one of those things I keep saying I'm gonna do, and then I keep putting it off and putting it off. But I just got a piano.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's the first time I had a piano since I was a kid, because I used to play, and so I've been writing more, which has been really, really nice. It's like such a nice break, or such a nice thing to do on your breaks.
What do you like to write about? Is it sort of your feelings? Is it sort of fictional
You know, I struggle
stories?
with lyrics. Lyrics always come second. My partner is a musician, and he does lyrics first, and I'm the opposite. I'll do the chords and the melody, and then I just kind of have to think quite hard about what I want to do, and I get caught up on it having to rhyme. But he's taught me so much about music.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Were you in bands when you were younger? Or was it
I did
singing
have a
thing?
band, actually.
Oh, really? Tell me
Yeah.
about that. What was it called?
We didn't have a name, I think. We sort of would just jam. We were never really that motivated. It was my mate Rudy, my mate Ryan, incredible guitarist. It's just the three of us, and we would just jam. We did a lot of covers. And then, you know, we kept saying, oh, we've got to do a gig, we've got to do a gig. And then I just always... I don't know. It's hard to really plan your life as an actor because you never know where you're going to be, you know?
Yeah. And you were the singer in this band,
Yeah.
right? Okay. What covers did you do?
Drums. Oh my gosh, you're really bringing me back. I was about 18, so we did Everybody Wants to Be a Cat. We had a great cover of that. He's a little bit, I like doing sort of jazzy things, a bit of soul, a bit of blues. That's my vibe. Maybe that's why I love Norah Jones and Amy Winehouse and Etta James so much. Everybody Wants to Be a Cat was a big one. Feeling Good, that's a really fun one to play with.
I can actually imagine Lucy being in a band with Maximus and the Ghoul. That could be a
Can
trio.
you imagine? That would be the best band ever. It would have to be sort of like bluegrass. You've got the Ghoul in it. You're automatically so cool. Any band with the Ghoul in it is just the coolest thing ever.
I'm not sure he'd be too good at singing. I mean, breathing is hard enough without having a nose.
He'd be on guitar, wouldn't he? He'd be bass or... No, it's not a drummer. Maximus is the drummer. Because, you know, he's got that sort of like, that pent-up rage. Maybe he'd do like, do, I don't know. We'd need maybe a fourth member of the band. Kyle! He'd be on guitar.
Yeah.
He'd be cool. He'd be cool in a band, wouldn't he?
Definitely. And one last music question. Are you a person that makes playlists for your characters?
I am.
What's on Lucy's playlist?
I make so many playlists. My Spotify is full. Gosh, you're really bringing me back. What was on my Lucy playlist? You know what? There's actually a lot of Fallout playlists on Spotify already that I would listen to, and it's got that kind of 50s, 60s vibe, which was really helpful when I was doing my the stuff at the beginning of the show, my Vault Dweller stuff, and it's very quaint and very sort of wholesome. And I also have very sad playlists. There was one song that I really loved. It's called When the World Caved In. And it's the acoustic version, and it's heartbreaking. It tells the story of the bombs falling, and that one was really good. About midway through the season to listen to. Yeah.
And my last question then, it's a bit of a personal one for me. I'm a big fan of your Channel 4 sitcom parody with Adam Buxton and Asa Butterfield.
Oh my God. I forgot all about that.
Right Place, Wrong Tim.
Yeah.
Were there any plans to do anything more with that beyond just the short that's on YouTube?
No, honestly, I made that movie with a bunch of friends. It really was like everyone I knew and everyone I grew up with. I've known Asa since we were like 13 or 14, and then we did Miss Peregrine's together. And we have a ton of mutual friends. The director of that short was actually a mutual friend of ours. I think I met him through Asa, actually. So it's just a bunch of us Brit kids getting together and making a stupid film.
Because it almost feels like it could be an episode of Black Mirror.
It's really good. Oh, it's really good, isn't it? I haven't seen that in ages. I kind of completely forgot about it.
Yeah.
That was fun.
What was it like working with Adam Buxton? Because I imagine he's not someone that you get to work with very often, is he?
No, he was really funny and a really nice guy, and just, you know, he's so busy and he's so established, and he just like came and was so committed and just brought it, and we played around, and he really made me giggle.
Yeah, and you've got quite a violent scene at the end that you had to film. What was that like? It was
fun. It was fun, especially because it's Asa, and we hadn't really gotten to do anything like that before. Obviously quite different from Miss Peregrine's that we did together, and suddenly, you know, he's like crazy eyes, like strangling me, and we're just having so much fun. So much blood, oh my God. Yeah.
But Ella Purnell fans, if you haven't seen that, check it out on YouTube. It's really good. But thanks so much for chatting to me today. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much. It's nice to meet you.
There you are, you little killer.